first. I will be working in customer table. My data has maybe a couple of rows more or less than you, but for the most part, my data will be very close to you because I have played around with Joe and Billy and all those guys. But your data might be the same. Uh, Invoices wise, I might have added a couple of invoices. Which I'm not seeing anymore in the data. Okay. So first scenario that I want to create and ask you guys that I know how to do inner joins to join two tables together now. That's the story of the past. I want to know if I can write a query to update one table based on the conditions that are available on another table. Have you guys written such queries? Usually you guys might have written a query. So let's say if I'll say update the balance, you might say, okay, yeah, that's easy. What is the number you want to change it to? Usually what you will do, you will say update table dbo dot customer set balance is equals to 156.39. Let's say I just want to change a penny on this guy. What's his customer name? Customer ID is 227. So where cust underscore ID is equals to 227. So update customers set balance is equals to just one. I'm increasing 1 penny in the balance, and I'm going to do that. Correct? That's easy enough. We all know how to do this. Pick up a customer, changes data. So this will make it to the, let's say this is the change management wanted. You will run this query in the production and it will do that. It will update that. If I ask you, can you make up a backup plan? So what you will do? Backup plan is restoring, keeping the data, keeping the original data and restore it back to if it is required. Oh, sorry, we made a wrong change. Can you revert it back? Yes, I can. So that is called backout plan. I made a mistake. We need to implement this in the live environment. So let's do that again. So this is another query. You reverted it back. What records get affected? This time only one record got affected, right? So you just did not need to create a backup plan because your backup plan will restore the data for you. So backup plan means put the data back in its, or put the schema back. So if I am to alter the schema as well, which I showed you yesterday, that whatever my query will make a new change to the live environment, my backout plan should actually say that no, restore it back. This was a wrongdoing that I did with the data. So live, if somebody requested and created a ticket for it and you did it, that's fine. But let's say if that change did not work, what you need to do? You need to have a backout plan. So let's say if banks say that in the morning 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. in the morning our system will be down, they are implementing some new changes, some new softwares and whatnot. But let's say if their plan did not go accordingly, by 4 a.m. they will try to do a backout plan. So they are working under strict timelines and they have to do this, right? Because it's a banking system kind of thing. So just making up an example. So live versus the backout. If more than one record is getting affected, then what you will need, you need to have a backup of the data, because right now it's only one person that is getting affected. If you need to make more than one more than one changes, you will need to have the backup of the data just in case your backout does not work. Then you can at least restore it back to a situation totally the whole table, or at least the part of the data. We'll come to that in a moment. So this is the backout and live and backout. So this could be my question, that what is the what would be your planning if your live query did not work out, or you need to go back to the actual data to revert changes. You need to have a backout plan. So I might ask you to write a query that we have implemented these changes in the production given the data. Can you write a query to restore the data what it was before the new live changes were made? So from the looks of it, it's very easy that, yeah, we made this mistake, we can make this change. But if somebody says no, we are going to revert out or back out of it, we are going to put everything back on the shelf like it used to be. But if the changes are good, we'll stay with this change. So that is called live backout, backout and backup plan. Okay. Now coming back to a query which I was asking, I'm going to ask a scenario right now with you guys, and you will have to think about it first. Should not really matter, but I have some sale day going on in my company, and people who ordered on 18th, who placed the invoice on 18th, or placed some order on 18th, I want to give them some discount. I want to increase their credit limit $50 more than what their current credit limit is. Correct? So I want to give this guy a benefit that if you have ordered on November 18th, which is this 125 guy, 5, yeah, because you placed the order on 18th, I want to give you a benefit to increase your credit limit from $500 to 550. Who else is there? 435. So let's pick up this guy, and I want to increase his credit limit from 1000 to 1050. Oh, my screen share ended. Okay, yeah, it's here. So what do you think what you are going to be doing? You will be writing individual update queries. You are going to do a longer run by going to each individual customer and updating their credit limit. So what is the better solution for it? Let's first select those guys who will get benefited. Okay, let's view those guys who will get benefited. I'll just short it out. Inner join. Invoices, sorry. Two zero one eight. Sorry. 20. So these are the guys who ordered on November 18th. What are those two guys? I'm able to find out those two guys. I want to increase their credit limit. So I have those guys with me now. So first of all, whenever you encounter this kind of a scenario where you have to update a value of a table based on the event that has occurred on another table, first write the select query to visually see what records will get affected. These are the two guys that can get affected. I usually spot checked it for you. And then if you have a large amount of data, you will do it on, you will select some small set of data and say that, okay, I will want to make sure that I'm picking up the right records. That's the first thing. That's the usual way of our solving the problem, right? Keep the usual old school way of spot checking first. Now, once that is done, I take out this part and comment this out. And usually watching it and visually checking it is a good practice to have. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to correct it now, and then I'll explain it. Just writing it down, and then I will explain it to you. Just verify my query here. Yeah, here's my correction. So what I did, my inner join part will remain the same. From customer, C, inner join invoice as I on the matching columns, and the where criteria stayed the same. Correct? I wanted to add a $50 gift card to each customer. So I said, okay, whatever the credit limit is, update that credit limit, set that credit limit plus $50 to that. And then because I alias this table as C, so I have to start with update C set C dot credit limit plus 50. So if I want to comment these two lines out, this and this line, and just make this line again like this, and open up this part, this is the select query, correct? And now if I want to update those records, because once the update is made, there is no coming back. So if I'll say I want to update those now, I see them visually, but I want to update that change. So I will just go back here and change it to a update query. So update C set credit limit is equals to, so always when you are doing a major update or updating multiple records based on the join, first see that and then intelligently swap them out if you need, so you are able to see it and put them back like this. So that is my way of checking and then updating. Once that is done, once you're satisfied that you are able to see that, I just corrected my syntax. It is now I'm able to see that, and then I can just put this back. So now if I'll do that, this time it has updated two guys. What are those two guys? You know those two guys because your select statement shows it. So now if I say Can you show me those two guys? Are they updated or not? You have two ways to do it. You can check it like this, commenting it out. And then check those records. Let's go back. He has credit limit increased to 500 to 550. His credit limit is increased to 1050. Otherwise, that's okay if I will go back and check it visually, and I can go ahead and check it like this: 550, 1050. But based on the join, I can update records as well, and that is sometimes the scenario is. PC optimum points, you will get bonus if you purchase this on such and such date. We are giving 25% discount to all the customer if you come and purchase on this date. So what you will do, everything that is happening on such and such date or such and such date range, we are giving some benefit. We are doing a weekly run for all the customers who will place an order on this date. A sale day is going on or something, or a Christmas sales, whatever. So every record is getting or has created on that day, we can give them some rebate, and this is how you're gonna give them some rebate. So this could be a common scenario in the businesses where they might ask you, we want to give all the customers who ordered on this date, we want to give them some benefit, and this is how you're going to do it. So now if I'll give you the scenario, you will have to write the query for it. So I'm going to write it here and you will type the query for me. For the invoice line items orders greater than $40, not 39.99, for the invoice order, for the invoice line items quoted price is greater than $40, give the balance credit of $20 to those customers. First of all, come up with this. I want to see if you can write the select query first for this. Then once that is done, you will write the update query for that afterwards. So for the invoice line item quoted price greater than $40, for all those customers who have the quoted price, I'm just going to add something here, sum of quoted price greater than 40, then give them the credit balance of $20. It's up to you. You want to use common table expression. I'm not going to say update right now. Select me. Select those records for me. Select those records where the invoice line items sum of quoted price, not the quoted price only, sum of quoted price is greater than 40, to give them the balance credit of $20 for those customers. But first show me what are those customers. I will ask you to this part later. Update those. Update Adding $20, you can come later. But first give me those customers. If you are able to understand the problem first, let me know. Real business scenario. I'm going to stay quiet for the next 10 Give me first of all what I asked. Actually, I'm just looking at it now. Is that sum of quoted price greater than 40? So sum of the quoted prices. So you have to do the sum query first on the invoice line. And it is bringing up all some of all everything that we have covered so far in the SQL part. Knowledge of everything almost. So when we use sum, we cannot use a where clause. We will have to use having. So your first target should be getting the sum of the invoice line items by all the customers. Invoice line items for every single invoice. So think of it. I'm going to iterate it again. So if you go to the invoice line table, first look at it, what is happening here. By each invoice number, I have some quoted price. So what I'm asking in the question, sum of the quoted prices. So first thing first, I need to sum all the quoted prices based on the invoice numbers. So 14219, it has to be joined with 79 and 39. So how much it will be? I don't know, but 79 plus 39, around 40. So somewhere around $120. So that is the first thing. If you look at this guy, 14224, he does not have, he does not have anything greater than 40 here because he does not have any other line item. So this will be excluded anyways, because if there will be another line item, I would have sum up, and if I would have tipped over $40, then it will be included. But because it is less than $40, this row will be excluded when I will do the sum query. So that is my first thing. I'm going to check what Kimberly has to say. Select the invoice number, sum of quoted price. Yeah, that is one part done from Kimberly. Now if you can, Kimberly, if you can go towards the customer, so your route to go to the customer would be join it with the invoice on the invoice number, and then when you get the customer ID from the invoice table, then it will help you join to the customer table. So one step at a time, if you can go to the customer table. I will expose my query, but I just want you to keep working on it, whatever the hints I am giving. So first write the first query, which Kimberly has already written, which says sum of the quoted prices. I want the sum of the quoted prices and by the invoice number. I want at least two of these columns to show So it uses your knowledge of a group by and having. I can write that query for you, but I still want to give you some time to get the ground breaking on that. I'll start typing. Select sum of, what's that called? Quoted price. So quoted underscore price from DBO dot invoice line. Let's do that. Spelling mistake. Quoted price. Done that. But I don't want the sum of quoted price altogether. I wanted to break it down by the invoice number. So let's run this. This is the sum of everything of the quoted price. I don't want that. I wanted to break it down by the invoice number. So invoice number. As soon as I do this, this column has to go in where? Into the group by clause. Because remember, I have mentioned it every single time that if you have aggregate function, that apart from that aggregate function, every single column that is not aggregate has to be put in the group by clause. This is a shortcut. So now if I do this, it is now showing me the sum of everything that is. So now once that is done, I want to exclude anything that is less than $40. Unfortunately, there is none. The most person has got is 56.97. Probably my data is a little different than yours because I have some garbage, but this guy is also above than $40. So some of that, everything will be included. So I'll say, so this becomes a little useless here, but I want to keep it. So I can change a little bit requirements later on. So having sum of quoted price greater than $40. So show me everything that is sum greater than $40. Unfortunately, everything will come up here anyways because every sum is greater than $40. So I'm going to rename it this column as a better name because right now it is showing up no column name. So I'm going to just say sum quoted price, sum of QP or quoted price. So what I want you to do is once you have that, she is working good on this. I got your messages late, I think all in bulk. Okay, you are there almost, Kimberly. But okay, I will bring up all the other guys here. So look at this. What I have done, I have all the quoted prices. Now if I run this, I have everything, and with the surety that sum of the quoted price is greater than $40, and I have all the invoices. and what I have, the invoice number. Now look at this table. I need to go to the customer table. Does customer table has any invoice number in it? No. Customer table has no invoice number in it. Which table has the invoice number in it? Invoice table has the invoice number in it. So an invoice line has the invoice number in it. So this is kind of a middle piece coming into in between, that in order for invoice line to reach to the customer table, it has to pass through which city? Invoice city, right? Because invoice line has the invoice number, invoices has the customer ID. To reach from the invoice line to the customer ID, I have to pass through the invoices. Invoice will have the invoice number, but it also has the customer ID. That customer ID can be then linked back to which table? Customer table. And then once I will reach the customer table, I will be changing the balance there. Correct? So one part is done, where I have this table, where I have this result set. Can I join this result set with another result set or with another table? Sure, I can. Let's do that, and I will paste the query right now. This is the important query which I just made, but now I'm going to copy and paste the solution right away. So I will explain that. And then I will look at Kimberly's because I think she's there, but I will, once I'll copy and paste that, we'll look at it. So now if I'll go and copy and paste this, I have solved this using a common table expression. It uses everything now in it. So isn't that the same query that I just wrote for you guys? Sum of quoted price is greater than $40. So let's run this query. It is showing me all those customers whose quoted price is greater than $40. I named this as a common table expression, sum of the invoice line. So CTE, sum of the invoice line. Any questions in this query? Because you need to start breaking things in small pieces. When the question comes to you or the query comes to you, you start to look at the bigger picture. You always need to know where you will need to start, which table you should pick up first. The table that I picked up first is this table, and from there I actually filtered out all the quoted prices that are greater than $40. And I need to understand, when I use group by, I need to mention the column name and then having clause. Any questions in this query? That is one part done. Secondly, the beauty of common table expression is that you can use or nest it or recursively use it in the following common table expressions. So what I did here is that, okay, this is established already. It's up to you if you want to use drive tables. That's okay, you can use a drive table. But what is established so far? This is already established. So I can use this established table or result into my common table expression. So what I'm going to do now, I said bring everything from this established query and name it, and I'm going to use it saying CTE sum invoice line item. So I have everything in this query now. You got it? And I'm going to join it with the invoices table. I'm going to join it with the invoices table. I named this invoices table as I. Got my point here? So far so good. We'll come to the third CTE in a moment, but let's focus ourselves is this is working for us. So first part explained, first query explained, second query explained, because this is the end route that this query is taking me. I'm joining it with the DBO invoices. I'm out of invoice line table and I'm going towards which table? Invoices table, which has what? Which has two pieces to it. The invoice number and the customer ID. This is what I'm looking at, because if I join based on the invoice number with the invoice number on the invoice line item, it will help me give this customer ID. This customer ID will help me join later part of the query that I'm going to do. So I'm going to back into the query. So let's take me and show me what you have so far. So if I'll run this query now, up until this point, it is showing me, yeah, I have the sum of quoted price, I have the invoice number, which are coming from the first, which is coming from the first common table expression, and then I am saying I want to cheat or take customer ID from the invoice table because I already put a join in there. So now I have the customer ID. So if I run this query as a whole, I'm seeing three things now instead of two things. Sum of quoted price, the invoice number, and the customer ID. Then I will start to shine. I'll get this query out of the way and I'll gonna create the third common table expression. I will simplify this. I can simplify this query for sure, but at the moment just take it that I put everything from the customer table in which common table expression, CTE underscore customer. I can simplify this query a little bit more. Once that is done, I will say that show me everything from the customer table based on joining the customer table with the CTE invoice. But the CTE invoice has CTE of invoice line already in it. So you see how I nested that? That first CTE gave me the result of the quoted price. Then I joined it with the invoice table. Then I can use this, I can nest this in my final query and say that join it based on the customer ID. Once I have the customer ID, I will join the customer ID based on the customer ID. So my customer ID from the customer table will join with the customer ID from the invoice common table expression. Once that is joined, I have this available to me. Once I will run this query as a whole, it is giving me all the customers who are eligible, actually all of them are, that have the quoted price greater than. So let's change a scenario. I want to see all those customers who have quoted price greater than 400, sum of the quoted price. That makes more sense. But do you understand now what I wanted to do? I will have now only 3 customers which in their lifetime have orders greater than, total orders greater than $400. At this point, it really doesn't matter if it is a $40 or $400, but my main idea was to show you how I started this query, how I put it in a common table expression. Then I joined this common table expression with my invoices table to give me this customer ID. Once I established this customer ID, I went on and look at what is happening at the intermediary step here, and looked at that and then commented or deleted that out. Once I have that, I'm in a position to join this customer ID to the customer table to give me all the rows for those customers. So is that okay with you guys? So if I'll run this query, now these are the guys who have the sum of quoted price for $40. So if, let's say, for I want to reduce the customers and I want to give the benefits who have orders greater than 400. So now if I run this query, it is giving me 3 customers who have, or actually 2 for now, because 435 is a winner. But at the moment, just look at, there are 2 customers who have quoted price greater than $400. So what I'm going to do, this is showing me the result of everything. The last nail in the coffin is that replace the select query with the update query. And you know how to do that? Get rid of this select statement and change it with the update. And I said I want to give them the benefit of how much? $20 or $50? $20. So give them the benefit of $20. So give them the credit of $20 so they can have extra $20. So if you see this, they have $230. They have the balance owing. So now they should be owing only 210 because I'm giving them extra $20 towards their balance. I'm not going to increase the balance. I need to decrease the balance because I'm giving them the benefit. I'm giving them the credit. So if I run this query now, when I will come back, this 230 will become 210 and this 80.68 will become 60.68. Two guys affected. I'm going to the customers. $60.68 his balance is. The guy 435 his is changed to 210.40. So we give successfully our customer the credit of $20 for those who have ordered more than $400. If everyone would need to have the credit, then we will have to just go and remove having clause. If everyone have to have a credit, then I just remove the quoted price because I want to give everyone the credit. So, but my main purpose was to somebody who has ordered more. Any questions on that? So it included everything we have covered in this class from the last. We have common table expression, we have group by, we have having clause, we have nested common table expression, then we have select query, which we successfully convert the select query into a update query. Now, to complicate things more, even further, can you write backup plan? This is implemented in live. My manager comes and says, sorry, we made a mistake. We need to revert back. all those customers that were given the credit of $20, we need to put the balance back. So write a backup plan, backout plan. This is already implemented in live. How you will go about, and you don't need to go individual rows. That individual row is gone, or a single table is gone. Use the logic in this which I explained. Create the backup plan of so first I would have gone on take on the I should have gone on and take out the backup of the records that are going to be affected. So at your end, before you run the update query, keep the notice of all those guys and put it in a temporary table, so that if you ever need to back out or something, then you can have those records, and then you can just update those records to get a backout. So how would you write the backup plan? So backup the records before they get updated. Once you have those records, keep them in a separate table or something, and then if you ever have to take a back out of that, reference back to the table in which you have kept the records, so that in case you ever need to back out, you can grab the records from there and update the record values back here. What do you think? I am talking a real world scenario. I'm going to look at, think about it. I made things a little more complicated by adding that, yeah, this is implemented. I need to roll back. I'm going to look at your output, Kimberly. But meantime, you guys can go ahead and look at, and I'm going to check. And make sure when you have done this update, make sure you don't run this query twice, because it will continue to update. So if I'll do it one more time, it will reduce the balance for $20. So you don't need to do that again. Just run the update query once, because update means a permanent change. Yes. Let me check. Let me think about it. Yeah, that will be your backout plan, right? That could be one. But keep in mind, records keep changing from different scenarios, right? If a customer places an order, his balance will change, or his invoice number will change, or if he cancels the order, or if he cancels one of the invoices, then that scenario will change. But I'm not going to overcomplicate that. I'll just want to keep it with you guys that what do you guys think? You can talk with each other on the chat. If you want to talk, you can talk, or if you want, I can create a breakout room. Think about it. I want a backout plan from this. What will be the best thing to do? Keep all the records that are going to be changed in the temporary table, somewhere. And by temporary table, I'm not saying SQL Server temporary tables. I'm just saying that, yeah, we can keep some records in the temporary table. Can we? And then do that. Think of multiple scenarios. It should be like, I'll open up a query file and I'll just execute, and then it will run the backout plan for me. If I need to implement it live, I'll just open up that query and execute, and it should have implemented right. That's about it. You are giving your script to a blind person, and when you give your script to the blind person, he doesn't care what is going to happen. He will just play an execute button for you. So you have to create a plans like that, that it should implement it like that, and it should revert it back like that. Very much automated. And the reason I'm saying automation, because that's a one other part of IT, or process automations. What are your options? You guys can discuss. So you definitely need something like folder like this. You will have a backout plan, and then you have a, but this is what we discussed on a very small scale yesterday. So if I'll open up this query, I'll go here, this query is open, I'll just go and click execute and it should run. If I need to say the backout plan, so I will go here in this folder, backout, double click on this query opens, and I'll just execute. This, how easy that should be like this. It should be like this, that I should be just running the query and done. So your data should be there, or what is affecting your data. So I'm not going to overcomplicate things, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys have this kind of a query. A very real world situation. Correct. Very easy answer. Very easy answer is that you'll just change it back to balance is equals to balance plus 20. So this query is your live plan. You will save it as a live plan. So I'm going to create a folder. Ticket, that's the ticket number. Let's say whatever the ticket number is. And I'm going to say new folder, back out. And then I'm going to be in the back out. I'm going to save it. Oh, sorry. So so add that back, this plus 20, and then file, save as. If I'm going to save it in the tickets folder, backout plan. So I want to take away the money that I gave them, and I'll say backout and the ticket number or something, whatever you want to name it. Backout 20.sql. Save that. Done. So now you have this query. And what is the live plan? In the live you have this one. Live.20. So save that. And I'm going to close everything. And the implementer. And I am the implementer who will get the implementation document from the development team that this is the implementation. So I don't know nothing about your SQL. All I am doing is I am the implementer. You ask me, go here, go there, navigate to this file, run this file. So I'm going there, file, open, file. I'm going to, where is my snippet? New query, just give me a sec. I want to get the path. Save SQL query. Yeah, I'm just going to cheat the path from here because I don't know where it is. So I'm going to here. So I'm the implementer. You said, okay, Kashan, can you run this script in the live environment? Okay, give me that script, please. Open, file. Where is that path located? Okay, paste that path. Go to that path. Implement this to the live. Open this up. Make sure this is there. Execute. Done. Okay, or 6 were implemented because I removed the having clause. But let's say if I do this greater than 4, and so let's say if this was the live script that was given to me, all I did is I went on there and execute. Once that is done, sorry, we made a mistake, close that, no problem. File, open, file, backout plan, open the backout query. Don't worry about that. I don't care about your select or update. All I'm doing is execute. I blindly did that and it just updated that. So I'm going to do this one more time. So now back out. So this is how easy your backout and backup plan will be. Or your backout and backup plans could be if you are replacing a file or you are replacing something else. You know, different environments will have different backout plans. Replace a PHP file with this PHP file. Replace an old PHP file with the new PHP file, but all should name the same, right? Or some other code or some other C# file, whatever. But this is how you will be backing out and coming into the system. So this is how systems grow. Inch by inch, you implement changes, and if the changes are not good or those deltas that you are changing are not good, you have a backout, then you are back to that. But inch by inch you change, so you are not in a situation that your whole system cripples down. You make small changes, small pieces of code, small tasks. On the sideline, you have bigger projects that you are coding anyways. So you have bigger projects. You are working in the in the morning, one part or a good part of the afternoon, and then these data related issues comes to you as well, that you need to fix the data issue. We need to give some customer the discount and all that. For that, you will be writing as zaps. So a couple of hours here and there, or rest of the afternoon for creating the zap, making sure everything, when you will give it to the implementer, he will have no issues. He will be able to follow your directions, grab the file from this folder, implement it, that kind of an implementation document. So this is my uh, example that I wanted to discuss in the class for data zapping. This is also called data zapping, because you are changing the data, or you are zipping through the changes in the data like this. So changes could be invariably very different. First, yesterday we changed the column metadata description. We changed the column size from 60 characters to 30 characters to 60 characters without affecting the data. But that could be, so if somebody has name of 40 characters, which is highly unlikely. But in the yesterday's example, some customer came to your website and he was trying to navigate, and he was not able to enter the 30 characters for his name. So you got this as an error, somebody reported it to your website, your customer. So all you need to do is to update the column information. Today we looked at that we were given the scenario that we need to give somebody discount. So we need to go through a update route, not an alter route, because we are not going to alter anything in the metadata, we are updating the data. So implementations, along with the plans that how you will go back out of the situations if things doesn't fall into places which you think, then you should have the backout plans. So for tomorrow, as we are going into the presentation, we are planning on 25th. Any questions on that? You will be given 10 minutes, and if you need to go over and tip to the next day, which is actually Thursday, if we need to tip over to Monday next week, if not everyone is finished, we can do that as well. On 29th we can do that as well, but we'll start with 25th. All right, so that's all from me for today. Exam related question is why the backout plan is important, why we need a backout plan, why we need, think of a scenario where we'll need a backup of the data. Something has gone wrong in the production, we need the backup. And keep in mind, let's say you have gone, so now think of it now, bigger things. Let's say you have a backup which you took a couple of days ago, and your database get corrupted today. If you are able to restore, which I was not able to restore the database yesterday, but if I'm able to restore it, everything has happened after the fact, has to be implemented. Data zaps have to happen because you are back in time. So all the updates to the data has to be redone. All the implementations that have happened after the fact have to be implemented after that. Obviously you need some, you might have lost some invoices or not, but on the previous invoices that are already existent and for which you have data zaps like this ready, all those have to be implemented in the sequence. That is why the ticket number are very important. Ticket number 1001 has to be come first after the data recovery. Ticket number 1002 has to be next in sequence. You cannot overrun 1002 with 1001. All will have to be stay in the sequence. So you know what I'm saying here? So let's say I'm going to repeat. Let's say I have a whole system backup couple of days ago, and today my database has gone bad. So I have my database guy, he recovered my data. Those transactions or those new invoices that were created are already lost. So I have lost a little bit of business anyways. I have to call my customers back. Hey, sorry, I forget. We have lost your information. Can you do it again or something like that? That's another story. But all the data zaps, all the updates to the database has to follow in the sequence that are implemented after that. So all that is been lost has to be implemented all again in the sequence. That's all for me from today.